Hello, it's me, NCR here again, and with another episode of the SunShining podcast. And I just wanted to do a special Thanksgiving episode today. So yeah, it's Thanksgiving today. What's the date today? Should have checked the date. It is October 12th today. So yeah, it's Thanksgiving today. So I just wanted to I just wanted to make a special SunShining podcast episode for today because it's Thanksgiving Day. One thing that's interesting for me is, and so I just want to share a little bit more about myself in this episode, is just that, I am from Texas. I lived the first 10 years of my life in Texas, and so Thanksgiving used to be my favorite holiday. Before I talk any more about that, I just wanted to say that, I remember what I was going to say here. I don't like, ministries necessarily, or people who post specific things when it's on that holiday. Like, let's say it's Valentine's Day or Father's Day or Mother's Day or Thanksgiving or Christmas or Halloween. They post and share stuff related to the holiday. I don't like that. I personally like to talk about other things. Oh yeah, last week I did a special audio only episode of my podcast. This week I'm doing a video only episode because I do have a short video clip that I recorded a few weeks ago that I want to share with you. But yeah, and I don't like, so, but anyways, I'm doing it. I'm doing what I don't like. I'm talking about Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving Day. But yeah, it used to be, so let me continue what I was talking about here. It used to be, Thanksgiving used to be my favorite holiday. Okay, because, and I was, from Texas, and so in Texas, and in the United States, Thanksgiving Day is in November. So I looked forward to that date in November, for every year that I can remember. But that was probably only like the last 2 years of my life in Texas, last 2 or 3. I looked forward to Thanksgiving. When we moved to Canada, I was looking forward to Thanksgiving, but in Canada, Thanksgivings just weren't the same as they were in Texas for our family. And then also they were at a different date. And so I've stopped caring when Thanksgiving is. I didn't even know that Thanksgiving was coming up here in October until I just you can't help but not know. Like, everywhere it says it's Thanksgiving Day. And I've stopped caring when Thanksgiving is. It's stopped being my favorite holiday. And I don't want to sound like too, I don't know what the term is, cynical, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to sound too, something. But, that's just true. That's just me. And I'm not blaming anyone for this necessarily, because I know I'm going to have family members watch this. That's just my story, my personal, experience with it. It was my favorite holiday. We moved to Canada, and now it's not my favorite holiday. And I love Canada. But yeah, enough of that. Let's move on to other topics. So, today's Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for? And how are you thankful? One topic that I want to discuss today, besides the topic of thankfulness, is just staying in the moment. I wanted to leave this. I was going to do episode 5 of the SunShining podcast, was just going to be me talking about staying in the moment. Because there's this song by Jeremy Camp that I really love, that's titled Keep Me in the Moment. I really love that song. I was going to talk about that in episode 5, but since I'm talking about it now in this special episode, I'm going to have to do episode 5 on a whole different topic. But yeah, it's a really good song by Jeremy Camp. I encourage you to listen to it, but actually, I'm going to quote some lyrics from another song, Love by We Are Messengers. In their chorus, it says, we can't enjoy the moment, alright, I don't know if that's the chorus or if that's verse 2, but we can't enjoy the moment when we always want what's next. I love that line there. It's 2 lines. We can't enjoy the moment when we always want what's next. And so that has a lot, staying in the moment, I feel, has a lot to do with thankfulness. And, if we always want what's next, how can we, we can't enjoy the moment. And so God has just created an amazing world for us. And He's given us so many amazing things, like, a house to live in, warm weather, friends, family, and we can't enjoy them, and we can't be thankful for those things if we're wanting something more, if we're not content. There's Paul says here in the Philippians 4 that he's learned to be content in whatever state he is in, and we just being content, learning to stay in the moment, and being thankful are all just kind of three intertwined things. And yeah, I made it. Maybe it's time. I don't know. I'm gonna show you a short video clip I recorded a few weeks ago, and then I'll talk some more after that. I love taking pictures of sunsets and sunrises, but my question just is, after taking one, is just I take a picture of a beautiful sunrise, and then what? Then what do I do after? And I just encourage you just to stay in the moment, and I think staying in the moment is something we need to I think for me it would start when I'm taking pictures of sunsets and sunrises, but I need to transition into the rest of my life. So yeah, being thankful can really, I think, affect our joy. And so where does staying in the moment start for you? Where for, like I said in the short video clip there, it's, for me, it might start when I'm taking a picture of a sunrise or a sunset, and I need to stay in the moment. But then it needs to transition into the rest of my life. Where's a place that staying in the moment can start for you and start in your life, and then how can you transition that to the rest of your life? And I definitely think it's a time-consuming project, because it's definitely something that I'm struggling with, as just kind of transitioning, staying in the moment. And also, how would staying in the moment kind of just, I don't know, would it make us act different? I don't know, because I really struggle with different things. But yeah, being thankful can really affect our joy. So what are some things you're thankful for today? I'm so thankful that I have a place to live, that I have food to eat, that I have a bed to sleep in, clothes to wear. But it's not just things I'm thankful for, because what if I am a poor person? What if I don't have any of that? I'm thankful for, a God who loves me, family to live with, friends to hang out with, and also just a few fun things that I'm thankful for is floors to sweep and dishes to wash. I don't know if those are considered fun things, but whatever. I just put them on my list. But, it is Thanksgiving Day today. But maybe you're not watching this video on Thanksgiving. It still doesn't change the fact that there are things you can be thankful for. And so I just encourage you, as soon as you watch this video, maybe to write maybe a few things down, or come up with a list of a few things that you're thankful for. You can also share things you're thankful for in the comments of this video. And then also, if you are up for the challenge, I encourage you to, write down 3 things that you are thankful for each week until the end of the year. 3 things every week for the end of the year that you're thankful for. Write it down somewhere if you're up for the challenge. And I don't know if it, I think it, that thankful challenge, writing down 3 things every week. I think it really has the ability to make, to really change your attitude and to make you more joyful, I think. But it also, if you let it influence you and if you let it change you. I personally myself, I'm not a very emotional person, necessarily. I'm never, I'm not too, I know sometimes I do get maybe overly angry, but, I'm never, overly happy. Maybe that's something that I need to work on in my own life. I need to change. There needs to be times that I'm overly happy and overly joyful and overly thankful, instead of being overly mad and overly unthankful, I don't know about you and, what you're going to do, whether or not, what your personality type is, but I know myself. And so that's what I'm speaking to. I'm speaking kind of to myself in this. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this episode about, thankfulness. It wasn't like a full on, oh, what do you call it? Sermon, or it wasn't like a full on explanation, or yeah, whatever, on thankfulness. It was just a simple little podcast episode by me on thankfulness. Don't go away yet. There's still the verse of the week, even though this is a special episode. I love doing the verse of the week. That's my favorite part. Something that's actually been on my mind recently is I was wondering if I should add more parts, like book of the week, song of the week, and because I really love verse of the week. But I think that would just be too much. Like, I am the founder of the SunShining, and the SunShining is a ministry devoted to sharing godly resources, and I'm in a library full of books, and I love. There's so many godly resources and amazing resources that I love, but I wouldn't. Yeah, there's just. I don't want to add that to my podcast. If you do, have like questions about different books, if you're looking for a good book to read, if you do want recommendations, if you do want stuff, I mean, feel free to reach out to me, contact me, ask me questions about godly resources. I've been sharing godly resources for quite a few years. Hi, it's me again. I don't know if transitions between little short video clips make the video editions of the SunShining podcast better or not, or what, because basically, like, the SunShining podcast is, especially episodes that just have me in them, it's just me talking, and so I don't know how interesting that is as a video format. I know that's not the way they're generally shared, but whatever, that's the way I'm doing it. I'm sharing my podcast as both video and audio, except this episode, like I already said, is video only. And you've already listened to most of it, but it's now time for the verse of the week. Or, the thing is since there's another episode of the SunShining podcast come out this week, this isn't really the verse of the week, but whatever. It maybe the verse of the day, because today is Thanksgiving Day. And yeah, so there's many great verses in the Bible that talk about thankfulness. There's one in the New Testament by Paul, I think, that says something about thanks or whatever. I didn't read it today, and that is definitely not the verse of the day. There's a verse here in Psalms 92, verse 1. It says, It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord, and to sing praise unto thy name, O Most High. Yeah, it is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord, but that is not the verse of the day either. The verse of the day can be found in Job chapter 42, verse 5. So, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the story of Job. I think we all are. I think most every Christian is. And how he lost everything and then he got everything back again. And so Job 42 is kind of the end of the story. He got everything back again. And so verse 5, let me bring it up in the King James Version here. Verse 5 in the King James Version says, I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now mine eyes seeth thee. So very kind of plain. Doesn't really make too much sense in the King James Version. I'm using the YouVersion Bible app. Okay, I made my own Bible app, Sun Bible, but I don't use it as much. The only version on Sun Bible is the King James Version. So I love YouVersion. I share both Bible apps, and so it's probably kind of confusing for my friends because some days I'm sharing the YouVersion Bible app, some days I'm sharing the Sun Bible app. It's kind of confusing, honestly. Thankfully I'm not my friends. I don't know if that made sense. I just was trying to think of something to be thankful for, but okay. The New Living Translation says, I had only heard about you before, but now have I seen you with my own eyes. I love that verse. It's such a powerful verse because you can hear about God. That's one thing. You can hear about God and the goodness of God. But actually seeing God and his goodness with your own eyes, that's a whole other thing. And so, I don't know, I don't know your story. I don't know if you've gone through a difficult season or a difficult time, or if you've had something, difficult, or if you're going through something difficult right now. I do know that God is good, and I'm telling you about that, and you can hear people say that God is good. But I pray for you, and I pray that there's actually a time that will come when you will actually get to see the goodness of God for yourself. And maybe you have seen the goodness of God. That's awesome, but maybe you haven't, and so that's why I'm praying for you that you will see the goodness of God, and hopefully in this life. But one thing, and I've had some awesome guests on the SunShining podcast already. Actually, oh, see, I've pre-recorded those episodes, so this week an episode with my mother comes out. She says some great stuff, and then next week Tyler Smith says some really good stuff. I really need to work on better, like kind of just how I do the interview, really. So even though I kind of feel like I flop on my end, still my guests say some amazing stuff. But this world isn't this life isn't the only one we have. And so, yeah, even if you don't get to see the goodness of God here in this earth, you will get to. I mean, but that's the thing. Like, you want to see him here, but I was just to say you're going to see him in heaven. But that's kind of like, what? I have to go through this entire life in hardship? But I don't know. Life isn't that hard. I mean, I know me personally, and this is a whole other topic, and you could have me talking for a long time. I just haven't really experienced too much hardship, but I know that there's hardship out there. I know people go through hardship. I know people experience hardship and hard things, and you maybe are struggling with seeing, yeah, God. A few years ago, I wrote a children's book about seeing God, and it's just this cute little children's book, and yeah, but I'm not a professional on seeing God. I've talked for way too long. This is just supposed to be a verse of the week, or the verse of the day. Let me read it again. I had only heard about you before, but now I have seen you with my own eyes. Job 42:5. I just wish that upon everyone, that that if you're just someone who has only heard about God so far, I pray that you get to see him personally with your own eyes in this life. That's my prayer for everyone.